Welcome to History with Herodotus, where the boundaries of time and space are bridged by the power of storytelling and the pursuit of knowledge. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the annals of time as we delve into the captivating history of Athens, a city that has left an indelible mark on the fabric of human civilization. In the cradle of Western culture, where the Mediterranean sun dips into the horizon, painting the sky with hues of crimson and gold, lies the city of Athens, a place where the Muses once whispered secrets to mortal men, inspiring some of the most profound works of art, literature, and philosophy the world has ever known. As we venture into the history of this venerable city, let us begin by examining the earliest stirrings of human habitation in the region. The Attica Peninsula, where Athens would eventually rise to prominence, has been inhabited since the Neolithic period, around 7000 BCE. It was during this time that the first farmers and herders arrived, bringing with them their primitive tools, seeds, and domesticated animals. These early settlers were drawn to the area's fertile soil, mild climate, and access to the sea, which provided a bounty of fish and other marine resources. As the centuries passed, the region underwent significant transformations shaped by the influx of various ethnic groups and the emergence of new technologies. The arrival of the Indo-European-speaking peoples around 2000 BCE marked a significant turning point in the history of Attica. These migrants brought with them their distinctive culture, language, and social structures, which would eventually coalesce into the city-state of Athens. During the Greek Dark Ages, a period spanning from approximately 1200 to 800 BCE, the region experienced a decline in population, economic activity, and cultural achievements. However, it was also during this time that the seeds of Athenian greatness were sown. The mythical figure of King Cecrops, who was said to have founded the city of Athens, is often cited as a symbol of the city's early beginnings. According to legend, Cecrops was a wise and just ruler who established the first institutions of Athenian society, including the Council of Elders and the worship of the gods. As we move forward in time, we find ourselves in the 8th century BCE, an era marked by significant economic, social, and cultural developments. The introduction of the Greek alphabet, adapted from the Phoenicians, facilitated the spread of literacy and the recording of laws, business transactions, and literary works. This innovation had a profound impact on Athenian society, enabling the emergence of a more complex and sophisticated culture. The 7th century BCE saw the rise of the aristocratic families, who would dominate Athenian politics for centuries to come. These powerful clans, such as the Eupatridae and the Alcmaeonidae, controlled vast tracts of land, wielded significant economic influence, and often clashed with one another in their pursuit of power and prestige. As the 7th century BCE drew to a close, the aristocratic families of Athens continued to vie for power and influence, their struggles often manifesting in violent clashes and intrigue. It was against this tumultuous backdrop that the figure of Solon emerged, a wise and just statesman who would play a pivotal role in shaping the course of Athenian history. In 594 BCE, Solon, a member of the Eupatridae clan, was appointed as archon, or chief magistrate of Athens, and it was during his tenure that he implemented a series of groundbreaking reforms aimed at alleviating the suffering of the poor and reducing the power of the aristocracy. Solon's reforms, which included the cancellation of debts, the reorganization of the Athenian economy, and the establishment of a new system of governance, had a profound impact on the city. For example, his introduction of the concept of seisachtheia, or debt relief, allowed struggling farmers to regain control of their land and livelihoods, thereby reducing the risk of social unrest and violence. Additionally, Solon's creation of a council of 400 members, known as the Boule, provided a more representative and accountable system of government, which helped to distribute power more evenly among the various factions of Athenian society. One of the most significant consequences of Solon's reforms was the emergence of a new class of citizens, known as the Zeugatai, who were small landowners and farmers. These individuals, who had previously been marginalized by the aristocracy, now found themselves empowered to participate in the political process and contribute to the economic growth of the city. As the Athenian statesman and historian Plutarch would later remark, Solon's reforms gave Athens a foundation for democracy and made it possible for the city to become a beacon of freedom and justice in the ancient world. The late 6th century BCE also saw the rise of another influential figure in Athenian politics, Pisistratus, a charismatic leader who would eventually establish a tyranny in Athens. In 561 BCE, Pisistratus seized power and began to consolidate his control over the city, using a combination of force, cunning, and strategic alliances to eliminate his opponents and secure his position. Despite his authoritarian tendencies, Pisistratus proved to be a shrewd and effective leader, implementing policies that promoted economic growth, cultural development, and military expansion. Under Pisistratus's rule, Athens experienced a period of significant cultural and artistic flourishing, as the tyrant actively encouraged the work of poets, musicians, and artists. For example, it was during this time that the Athenian poet Sappho composed some of her most famous works, including her haunting and beautiful odes to Aphrodite and Eros. Additionally, Pisistratus oversaw the construction of several major public buildings, including the Temple of Olympian Zeus, which would become one of the most iconic landmarks in ancient Athens. The death of Pisistratus in 527 BCE marked the beginning of a new era in Athenian history, as his son, Hippias, struggled to maintain control over the city. However, Hippias's reign was short-lived, and in 514 BCE he was overthrown by a coalition of aristocratic families led by the Alcmaeonidae clan. The expulsion of Hippias marked the end of the Pisistrated tyranny and paved the way for the emergence of a new form of government in Athens, one that would be characterized by greater democracy, accountability, and civic participation. In 508 BCE, the Athenian statesman Cleisthenes implemented a series of reforms that would have far-reaching consequences for the development of democracy in Athens. Cleisthenes' innovations included the creation of a new system of tribes, or phylae, which replaced the old aristocratic clans as the basis for civic organization and representation. He also established the Athenian Boule, or council, as a permanent institution and introduced the concept of ostracism, whereby citizens could vote to exile individuals who were deemed to be a threat to the stability and security of the city. As the 5th century BCE dawned, Athens found itself at the forefront of a burgeoning cultural and philosophical movement, with the likes of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle contributing to the city's reputation as a hub of intellectual and artistic innovation. The reforms implemented by Cleisthenes had laid the groundwork for a more inclusive and participatory form of government, which in turn allowed for the flourishing of a vibrant and diverse society. This was an era marked by great achievements, from the construction of the iconic Parthenon to the development of Athenian tragedy, with playwrights like Aeschylus and Sophocles pushing the boundaries of dramatic expression. The Golden Age of Athens, as this period has come to be known, was characterized by a remarkable synthesis of politics, culture, and philosophy. As the statesman Pericles so eloquently expressed it, "What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others." This sentiment captures the essence of Athenian society during this time, where the pursuit of knowledge, beauty, and civic virtue were deeply intertwined. The legacy of Athens' Golden Age can be seen in the many subsequent cultures that drew inspiration from its achievements, from the Romans to the Renaissance humanists. The city continued to evolve, facing numerous challenges and setbacks, including the devastating Peloponnesian War, which pitted Athens against Sparta and ultimately led to the downfall of the Athenian Empire. Yet, even in the face of adversity, Athens remained a beacon of culture and learning, with its philosophers, playwrights, and poets continuing to shape the intellectual landscape of the ancient world. In the centuries that followed, Athens would be conquered by the Macedonians, incorporated into the Roman Empire, and eventually become a major center of early Christianity. Through it all, the city's rich cultural heritage endured, influencing the development of Western civilization in profound and lasting ways. The history of Athens serves as a testament to the enduring power of human achievement, reminding us that even the greatest civilizations are built upon the foundations laid by those who came before. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.